As I was digging into my leftover bowl of Halloween candy, I began to think about what I could discuss for my Pechacucha. The past couple of weeks had been filled with scary movies, witches, and ghosts, all meant to be fearful and scary. But why do we fear these things? Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." What does this mean? At that time, FDR was telling the American people that their fear was making things worse. He went on to say, nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance. Growing up, I was a daredevil. I tried anything and everything I could with no fear. When I was 7 years old, I had the unbelievable opportunity to take a family vacation to the British Virgin Islands. I hopped right into the water with my dad to snorkel and to see the beautiful life beneath water. Within minutes, I turned to see tons of jellyfish. It felt as if I was surrounded by millions of them with no way to get out. How did I handle that fear that was inside of me? I naturally, immediately panicked, jumped on my dad's back, nearly drowning him, and insisted he get me out of the water as soon as possible. That is where my fear of the ocean began. Fast forward 17 years later, here I am in Jamaica snorkeling. I may not have jumped into the water as quickly as when I did when I was 7, but I managed to make myself take the leap into the ocean. I gave myself a pep talk. Everyone else is doing it. Why can't you? But what am I really afraid of? The jellyfish? The water? This is what I'm afraid of. Trust me, I've watched my fair share of Shark Week and I've seen Jaws plenty of times. I know there are sharks in the water. However, in all likelihood, I would never ever even see a shark. The last shark attack death in the continental U.S. was in 2013. Meanwhile, 30,000 people die in car accidents every year. So why am I so afraid of dying from a shark? Possibly because of the media? Or is it the negative reputation that sharks often get? I'd like to discuss the definition of fear. Fear can be defined as a vital response to physical and emotional danger. If we didn't feel it, we couldn't protect ourselves from the legitimate threats. Okay, so I can feel better about my fear because I'm protecting myself, right? Not always. According to Psychology Today, there are 5 different types of fear: ego death, extinction, loss of autonomy, separation, and mutilation. Ego death is fear of humiliation, shame, or any other mechanism of profound self-disapproval that threatens the loss of integrity in one's self. Let's take a look at other fears. The next fear is loss of autonomy. The fear of being immobilized or paralyzed or feeling claustrophobic. But this also extends to our social interactions as well as our physical state. Separation, the fear of abandonment or rejection. I'm sure everyone's felt that at some point in their life. The next fear is fear of mutilation, the fear of losing any body part of our bodily structure and the thought of having our body's boundaries invaded. Being attacked by a shark, a fear of mutilation. However, as mentioned before, it is extremely unlikely to get attacked by a shark, yet it is still a fear of many people. A few years back, I thought it would be a good idea to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Not everyone is afraid of heights, but I don't think anyone can say that they don't get a little nervous as they are looking over the edge of a plane getting ready to jump out. This is a fear of extinction, a fear of annihilation or ceasing to exist. One very prevalent fear a lot of people have currently is the fear of extinction from the Ebola virus. According to NBC News, a lab technician who handled samples from a patient who died in Dallas has been confined to his room on a Caribbean cruise. Do you think that was necessary? Media plays a huge role in instilling fear. Every day on the nightly news you hear, officials are worried about possible attacks against, or shocking new details when we come back, or officials consider the threats to be serious. I'm not here to judge the news because frankly there are a lot of awful things that happen daily, but I do think some events are exaggerated. Fear is also the media and our inability to assess risk. According to Time magazine, On the heel of 9/11, 5 cases of anthrax shut down the government. Meanwhile, 200,000 people died last year from influenza. Less than 30% of the population got the flu shot. I will ask the question again. What is fear? Does it stand for forget everything and run? I would like to think it means something different. False evidence appearing real. Here is a picture looking down from the middle of the Hoover Dam Bridge. Did I have fear as I was walking out on the bridge? Of course. I could feel the bridge wobbling as semis cruised by. I was fearful that the bridge would collapse and I would fall. I feared something in the future that is not happening right now and that is not going to happen. So false evidence appearing real. The moral of the story is, fear is something we choose. We are not born with fear. Fear is as deep as the mind allows. How does it make you feel when you face your fears? I feel proud, happy, and accomplished. Just a note, I do not suggest you face your fears by actually facing a tiger. Here are some simple steps to face your fears. Get comfortable with the feeling of fear. Think positive. Don't give fear the time, attention, and energy. Revisit victories. Ask family and friends for encouragement. Plan to be great. Have confidence and face your fears, and believe in yourself. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "You gain strength and courage and confidence by each experience in which we really stop to look fear in the face. You must do that which we think we cannot." Wow, what a statement. I challenge you to face your fears, small or big. Start today.